So namaste. So today is a do-along handstand routine. This is only 20 minutes and it is meant for an intermediate kind of practitioner who can kick up, who has the necessary strength for that, but perhaps doesn't have balance. So we'll use a wall, and also this is not a do-along routine. So you might have to watch each drill, understand what is involved, and then pause it and then just do it. That's all. Hope you enjoy.
Let's do some shoulder flexions. Come stand by the wall, upper back and lower back to the wall. Raise the arms up, shrug, touch wall, bring it down. Continue that for around 8 times. That's 3. Reach up, keep the ribs in. 4, 5, 6, shrug and reach back. 7 and 8. And now let's work a little bit on the chest muscle to lengthen that. The pectoralis major can limit shoulder flexion. So stand with your left side against the wall. Take the left arm back in line with the shoulder and the palm facing up of the left arm. Then you're just trying to rotate away from the wall. So the more the middle of the chest, the bone moves away from the wall, twist away from the wall, that much the chest muscle is stretching on the left. So just feel the sensation, and that's it. And then change sides. So right arm goes back. I externally rotate so that the palm face up, and then I'm trying to rotate the chest away from the right arm. And so the attachments and the insertions are in that way from sternum to upper inner arm. So create distance between them. So now we are working on some shoulder flexion. So standing here and keeping the ribs a bit more off, the tailbone a bit more down, just pulsing shoulder flexion. Do that for around 5 to 8 times. So the next one, standing a little bit away. So the first, and what I'm showing is what you should not do. Just the ribs collapsing towards the wall in that fashion. Don't do that. We can do that perhaps on a back bend day, but not handstand day. Stand a bit more away, keep the ribs in, and then press down through only the shoulder joint. So it's a shoulder flexion we are after. So some pulsing here. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. 6. 7. You can even tiptoe this. 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, and you should be feeling a little bit open at the shoulders now. Now let's set up for some simple movement, back and forth movement, because in handstand, hips and shoulders travel, especially the hips travel from behind to forward kind of direction. So just for that, and also to prepare the wrist. So child pose, arms in front, just lean forward, load the wrist a bit, and go right back to child pose. That's 1. Lean forward, load a bit, go back to child pose. 2. Inhale, come forward, press a bit. 3. 4. Inhale forward, exhale, child pose. 5. Lean, exhale back. 6 and back. And now we will work a little bit on inversion itself. So like headstand kind of prep. So coming down with the elbows, interlacing the fingers, and so that is what you'll be doing in a similar kind of drill. So going forward, head down, lift hips up, and go back to child pose. 2, come forward, press up and back. Then 3, go forward, elbows down, and head down, hips up, knees down, child pose. 4, elbows down, knees up, head down, hips up, knees down and back. 5, go forward, lift up and back to child pose. 6, forward and one leg up if you're okay, come down and child pose. Again forward and the other leg up, ribs in, reach up and come down and child pose. Again continue, lift one leg, ribs in and back to child pose. forward, the other leg in, press down with the forearm, ribs in, and back to child pose. And then some of you have balance, perhaps the leg will come up and you allow that. And the other leg, lean forward, don't arch, keep the foot kind of straight over the head. And continue. Really waking up that balance capacities of the body. Those who are fine, you can take both legs up to that headstand position, but not holding for time, still moving dynamically. Press and up, touch big toes and come down. And again, up. So keep going with this. Find a nice rhythm. And then rest for a few breaths. So now let's prepare the hands and elbows towards handstand loading of the joints. So you can stand with hands against the wall in line with the shoulders. You don't have to use parallels. I got a wrist problem, that's why. Then walking back, keeping the ribs in, really getting that handstand overhead shoulder flexion. Stay for around 10 seconds. Really staying with the tailbone down, ribs up, navel in, and working on that shoulder flexion. And then walk forward, coming back to that wall standing plank kind of position, then walking back to that handstand kind of position, and then walking back forward to that vertical plank, and back to that horizontal handstand, walking forward to vertical plank, back to horizontal handstand, back to vertical plank, and to horizontal handstand, back to vertical plank, and again back to horizontal handstand, really staying, feeling all the actions, and back to vertical plank, and then relax for a few breaths. So the resting time, simply walk to and fro the mat. I find around 5 steps in each direction. I will hold the wrist behind so that there is no extraneous movements, and my eyes will be fixed at a spot slightly in front of me, and I'm just counting steps and feeling movement. So that is lifting, flowing, landing, lifting, flowing, landing, lifting, moving, landing, lifting, moving, landing. That's what I'm just mentally noticing, and just do that. So the concentration practice continues. Okay, so let's prepare for the next drill. So on a hands and knees position, and what you're going to do is from a child pose to hands and knees arch, down dog, maintaining that position, you go to this kind of a decline, long plank kind of position. The knees down, arch, and child pose. Inhale, hands and knees, slight arch. Exhale, down dog. Then inhale one leg up, exhale the other leg up, stay for a moment. Then that leg comes down, the other leg comes down, arch and child pose. So inhale, exhale, down dog, left leg up, right leg up, left leg down, right leg down, knees down, arch, child pose. Inhale, arch, exhale, down dog, then right leg up, left leg up, then right leg down, left leg down, hands knees arch, child pose, hands knees arch, down dog, left leg up, right leg up, ribs in, left leg down, right leg down, hands knees arch, exhale, child pose, hands knees arch, down dog, right leg up, left leg up, right leg down, left leg down, hands, knees arch, child pose, and rest for a few breaths. So rest would mean again that walking awareness. So eyes should not wander, just feeling the movement, lifting, moving, landing, lifting, moving, landing. That should do. So now we are prepping up for some kick up, scissor kick ups. So you have one leg down, the shoulders is directly over the wrists if possible before you set it up. So ribs in and one leg is up, press down with the ground leg and the other leg kind of drives. That did not really go up well. So just go up, touch big toes and land down. My idea is not to touch the wall. So just controlling it. So the top leg is only going just past vertical, grip it and then down. So that is 4. Oops, that collapsed a bit. And back to that walking awareness. So sometimes the balance just comes up, the line just comes up, sometimes it does not. So as soon as you're done, you have to cleanse your mind of that. Don't think, oh, today bad day or anything. Just back to watching the steps. Vairagya practice. Just cleanse. Okay, that should do. So now we are preparing for getting some moments of balance. So this time you kick up to the wall. This time deliberately touching the wall, keeping the other leg slightly in front, like a scissor position. And then you one leg off, the other leg to wall. And so there you get some hang time. So really controlling with the hands on the floor. Just keep doing this. So getting that hang time. If that is really tough, you have to take foot to wall and then only move the other wall. You're still conditioning, improving conditioning strength. So that's it. So around 20 seconds you must have done that. And back to less chatter and just watch your steps. That should do. This time we are working on a similar principle, but trying to take both legs off simultaneously, which is a little bit more difficult. So kick up, both feet on the wall. Scissor kick up, both feet on the wall. Press down with the hands, shift some weight to the wrist side and bring the legs off. So that is 2. So some hang time. 3, 4, press down. And 5. And 6, press down. 7, 8, and down. So in my mind, I also was thinking, oh, in between I lost shoulder elevation, in between I was arching, should I redo this? But then silence to all that, steps, just watching the miracle of walking. Okay. So now we are setting up for some tuck practice. Initially, let's work on the shoulders. So knees to the wall, you're sitting on the heels. Take the arms up. If you have yoga blocks or something, you can put it against the wall. So that helps a bit more shoulder flexion. So I'm trying not to arch much at the lumbar, working mainly through the shoulders. So trying to keep the ribs in, a bit of a hinge at the pelvis, and then shoulder flexion. So do around 8 to 10 pulsations here. That should do. So let's work on wall assisted tuck hold. So standing in this kind of forward bend, heels to the wall, hands under the shoulders kind of position, and then leaning the buttocks away from the wall, bend one leg, bend the other leg, bring the knees on the wall by the pelvis, walk hands back a bit to get shoulders under the buttocks, heels towards the butt, and just stay for time. Today I'm just staying for around 10 to 15 seconds, but really shrug, press the armpits towards the wall, and then slowly side step out. So just be careful if you're not very comfortable with side stepping out. And if you're not comfortable, you don't have to do it this way. Or you should have a friend standing this side to just help you, just in case you fall over. Then we just focus on our walk. Movement is such a gift, it's such a mystery as well. What is walking? It's not like I am walking, I have no clue the mechanism of walking. I just want to walk, then the psoas fire, the thigh bones move, and I get sensations through nerve from the feet all the way up to spinal cord, brain. It's all adbhuta. It's a wonderment. Be grateful. And now let's focus on some kick up to tuck. So shoulders over the wrist if possible, and ribs in, bend the legs, kick up, feet to wall first, and then from there tuck a bit, lower the knees so that the feet goes away, and then back, feet to wall. That is 1, that is 2, tuck a deep, 4. So just pulsing between assisted and non-assisted, deepening the tuck, and then just back to wall, and finally you're down. So then back to walking. That should do. So now just make sure your feet is kind of clean at the bottom. I clean the feet before using the wall. So this is tuck straight with wall assist. So like before, buttocks lean away, take one leg up, other leg up. If you're a bit scared about this, keep the hands a bit in front of the hips, not directly under. So like I'm doing here, this is not too scary. So just bend the leg, slide down, and then slide up. So do around 5 reps. That's 2, or I forgot the count. That is 3. So important thing is you don't flare the ribs when you straighten the legs. So the ribs and shoulders should be as stationary as possible. The only thing which moves is that knees. Then back to walking. So I saw that the wall actually, my foot was clean, but that kind of scraped some paint off. So you have to be careful of that when using your wall. So now though I'm counting steps, in my mind I'm also trying to figure out how to fix this wall. Perhaps I have to repaint. And then I'm also saying, okay, just shut up, just watch the steps. Okay. So now we are going to practice this tuck straight. So the idea is not to touch the wall, but it's okay if you do. So just bend the legs and then kick up, and the feet guides the legs to straighten and then come back. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, that collapsed a bit, that's fine. And then a few steps. And that should do for the day. Take a short sit. Strength and stability to all.